Happy Friday. Welcome to the Smart Life Club. This is the Coffee Break Show. I am Vickie Helm, and guess what? It's Friday. And what a week we've had. What an incredible, empowering week we have had. And I think right now, I have looked at the last 4 weeks, and we have had really incredibly strong last 4 weeks. And today I put out something that is a hot topic for me. And I want to be able to share it with everybody in a dialogue that isn't offending. So listen, if you're new to the Smart Life Club, do me a favor, put your name down below so that we can go ahead and say hello to you and see you and have you be on the show with us. And if you look up here, you're going to see something that says StreamYard/Facebook. And when you go ahead, StreamYard/Facebook, and you click on that right away, you're going to be able to see a blue button that says, yes, I can see your name, because I use StreamYard to go live in. So I'm live in 5 places. If you're on YouTube, welcome. Smash that like button. And good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to see you. Good morning, Barb. Glad that you're here. And so what I want to talk about today, when I say, do you believe in government leaders? Good morning, Karen. Happy Friday to you, my friend. I'm so glad to see you on. I see that, hey, Vickie, Facebook user. Who is that, Karen, that says, hey, Vickie, hey, good morning. Whoever you are that said, hey, Vickie, I want to know who you are. If you're new to the Smart Life Club and this is your first coffee break show, welcome. We share insights, motivation. We share tips and tricks, and we help create a thrivable community, Hey, Catherine. Oh my God, I am hugging you right now. That just made my day. Catherine Glass, all the way from Boston. Oh God. Catherine, we're going to have some fun and have you on the show. I'm telling you, we have that Wednesday welcome. Nice to see you on board, my friend. That is, that is so cool. So what I want to say is, welcome aboard. And today I have a pretty interesting, hard topic for me. And, a lot of the world right now is having a lot of tumultuous. Hey, Sean Wilkinson, hugging you too, my friend. Welcome aboard, everyone. I'm so glad to see you on today. I have been watching the world a lot lately, especially this last month, as, the virus grows, as our political system tries to pick another primary candidate. Hey, Sean, nice to see you on. Happy Friday, my friend. I'm glad that you're so excited to see me laugh out loud. I am always excited to see you. So what happens is, I watched the last Democratic debate, and I guess Bernie Sanders won Nevada in a big kind of landslide way. And then when they went to the Carolinas, it was like hog boiling. Everybody was pointing fingers and yelling and etc. And I was watching all of this happen, and it was almost like it was a weird game to watch. And I've been watching the leaders around the world. I mean, all the world leaders accuse and make accusations about how the virus was discovered, or who didn't do this, or what department was responsible for that. And I was watching all this mayhem, especially in China, where the hospitals are overrun and the workers are overworked, and they're getting sick and dying, like they've lost. Good morning, Donnie. They've lost, 2,000 doctors. And because of that, 2,000 doctors that are sick and they can't go home, and they can't help people because energetic debauchery. Yes, that's the beautiful word for it. So they can't go home to their families or anything else. And then suddenly we take our eyes off the people who are ill, and we go over here and we go, who's to blame for the doctors dying? Well, guess what? It's a deadly disease. Guess what? It makes people sick. Guess what? It's easily transferable. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? And then the conspiracy theorists to come out. And it was like, do you believe government leaders? And I thought, do you believe any leaders? And what I found for me was it was hard to have discernment. It's hard to have discernment right now with all of these discussions that are happening, and people are trying to one up themselves. They're not trying to be honest. They're trying to kind of CYA, which is cover your behind. And so when you get to the point where you have, covering your behind all the time, how is it that you can make a choice? So for me, I want to say something very polarizing right now. And that is that I believe that the coronavirus is something that's very important to watch. It's spreading, and I think everybody should prepare. And there's also those who think the coronavirus is kind of made up, it's BS, it's not going anywhere, and it's not going to do anything. And so when you get to the point where you are so polarized in your thinking that pontification starts happening, and it's like a football game. It's like, here's this football team and here's this football team, and you start debating why your football team is going to win based on its forthrightness or its statistics or its whatever. We don't stop to pay attention. We don't stop to become mindful and aware and just say, what's happening in the game? What's happening right now? We start reading the opinions and the pontifications and the accusations, and we lose our basic discernment. We lose our basic discernment. So I thought a long time ago, the best way to stop this political debauchery that was happening way back years ago, I decided that I would become an independent. I was no longer going to claim that I was either a Republican or a Democrat, because that to me was the football game. It's like, here's the Democratic team, here's the Republican team. And all we do is sling mud back and forth at each other. And there is no perfect president. There's no right president. There's no absolutely the best president ever there was ever. Every time a president walks into an office to take command of the country as we have elected them, they do not know what's going to happen in 4 years. They're the people who are in the moment having to make decisions based on what is happening right now, based on what is happening in the world at this moment. And so are they going to be perfect? Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. They're not perfect. There isn't the perfect decision to be made either. And guess what? I think Trump has done some great things, and I think he's done some not so great things. And guess what? I've done really great things, and I've done some not so great things. And guess what? I bet you too have done that same thing. But what happens to us when we begin to evaluate and opinionate and pontificate is that we lose the moment. We lose the paying attention to the data, and we lose that complete ability to see or discern when we have departments and governments and things playing the CYA game. No, it's his fault, their fault, these fault. We have a situation right now that is global. It is completely global. It is aligned with us globally. I'm going to pop over here because you guys are just on fire this morning. And thank you for being here with me, because I am finding it disheartening in this moment to actually figure out what the real truth is. Robin says CYA is cover your assets. Thank you. I love that. Facebook user, I'm going to think that's Catherine Glass. I'm not sure if it's Sean or Catherine. Yep, I'm doing both, preparing and stocking up on canned goods, water, mask, and watching closely. Me too. I think that's so important. It is a very big truth. Catherine, you are awesome. Thank you. That is Catherine. A theory exists that one doesn't get to a certain level unless compromised. You know, it's interesting too, because I'm going to go out here. We are watching consciousness right now. We are not watching people, we're actually watching consciousness shift, people's beliefs shift. We get to observe what they believe. We get to observe what they think. We get to observe what is manifesting in their world based on that. A theory exists that one doesn't get to a certain level unless compromised. That's true. If something isn't stretching your comfort zone, if you're not, something will come along to stretch that comfort zone. It is absolutely something that is necessary. But in your comfort zone or out of your comfort zone, no matter what you do, discernment and mindfulness is the name of the game. If you're lost, you need to pay attention where you're at. And the thing about having government leaders is that we don't have a conversation based on the evaluation of somebody's works. We have it based on a political philosophy. We have something where we are unnecessarily attacking. Now, I don't care what party is in office. What I have observed is if the Republicans are in, the Democrats fire. If the Democrats are in, the Republicans fire. And it goes back and forth and back and forth. And when we lose that mindfulness, when we lose that discernment, we don't base our choices on what somebody's accomplished. And again, I am to the point where I think anybody who runs for the office of president is crazy. That's a hard office. I think there is no way I would do that job, because it is, talk about living 4 years with lovers and haters and being burned at effigy every day of your life and having the opinion poll. Talk about having to rise above that mindset and do it anyway. I just don't know if I could do that. Hey, Ryan, nice to see you're on. Let's see. Facebook user, definitely some covert BS going on, trying to confuse us. You know what? I agree with that. I think there are definite people right now that are trying to, everybody wants to control the narrative. Everybody wants to control the story. Everybody does that because they want to control what button you're going to push. Are you going to push this president's button or this button or this button? What button are you going to push? And so what happens is I think that we get such convoluted messaging that making a choice no longer isn't about, it's like people, well, I'm a Democrat, therefore I'm going to vote Democrat 100% of the time. Then we lose sight of the good works that somebody's doing or that they're doing. And I just think that the way that people act on the debate stage is the way they're going to act in the office of the presidency. So if you're attacking somebody else on the debate stage because they're the front runner, you're going to be attacking someone else in the office because they're doing something and you want to CYA. So I feel kind of disheartened right now. I feel disheartened because living in this confusion, it may help you rise above to the next level, to open your consciousness, to really look deep within yourself. But there's part of my innocence that goes ahead and wants kind of a consumer reports where we compare this toaster to this toaster, what the features are, and I can select what I want to buy and walk off without the rest of the world, the rest of the world opinionating and throwing it in and da-da-da. And I know a lot of times it's like, where do you go to read the truth? Now, according to politics, we have a lot of fake news. According to the news people, we have a lot of fake politicians. And then thus the war goes, isn't it? It's like some part of me wants to have it be a little simpler. Some part of me wants to be able to reach across the aisle and realize that we are humanity and we are not Democrats or Republicans. We are humanity. And I would like to say we are Americans, but that's just a concept for a country that was created. The world was here before countries were. The world was. And I'd like to think that I am a human being and that I see other human beings or other sentient beings. And I know that we've gotten to the point where we are such a big world. We have more opinions than we do have cooperation. Where did we lose the cooperation pieces? And I feel like this game of propaganda was purposely done. I'm going to just put that out. I believe the game of propaganda that happens right now, every day, is purposely done. So here's the thing. For me, I get to the point where I think the most important thing to protect is my sense of discernment. I believe all of this stuff is coming out to disrupt my sense of discernment. It's to pull my self-awareness away from me, outside of me, where I'm looking this way, instead of coming back inside me, inside my soul, inside my heart, and saying, what's true for me in this moment? Just true for me. And what is it that I think versus what does a party think? What is it that I'm thinking or hearing in my own inner voice? I think with all the propaganda, what happens is we lose our inner voice. I'm going to go park over here for a second because you guys are just two wings. Karen says, I hear you. Thank you. You're blessed to have Jonathan. Between the two of you, you're unstoppable healers. Yes, you are. I missed something because I know that's Catherine Glass, and I want to know what she said up here, but there's so much going on. Yep, both preparing. Great. Okay, two wings of the same bird. Yes, two wings of the same bird. That's absolutely correct. You're blessed to have Jonathan. Okay, they want you scared and not in your right mind. Now, I believe that. I believe that they want us scared and not in our right mind. I've seen that over and over, that fear tactics. Scott says, come here, Scott. Scott says, been preparing for something all my life. Just didn't know what it was. Just that it was going to be big. Yes, I've had that feeling too. I feel like I've trained my whole life for this moment right now, for these moments in time right now. I'll have to ponder that more. Barb, hey Barb, nice to see you. Regardless of what party chosen, if any, we have a responsibility to vote our conscience. Thank you. I really believe that. Regardless of what the party's chosen, if any, we have a responsibility to vote our conscience. You have to go in and take a look and discern for yourself. Sometimes you need to shut off everything. Just shut off everything and look at what I do is I look at both sides. I let everything that I'm against into my feed so I can read it over and over. I just want to know what they think. I just am listening to the conversation. And when I listen to the conversation, I'm out of my comfort zone. But I believe sometimes that when you have the responsibility to vote your conscience, it really takes a time where you have to discern. Discerning is not opinionating. Discerning isn't picking a party. Discerning, it to me, is listening to both sides of the story. Both sides. Not just one side, not just the things I like, but both sides of it. I would like to read even stuff that makes my blood boil, because when my blood boils, it's nothing more than a story I'm telling myself. It's not actually true. We don't know, but I'm listening. And when I listen, my consciousness, my discernment will come up and say a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There is no perfect leader, none. I certainly am not. And a lot of times when I make mistakes, I would like forgiveness. That is something that the public just can't do. We're not very forgiving. We're not very forgiving of the actions of others. We want others to forgive us if we screw up, but we're not very forgiving of other people. Public opinion is brutal. It's brutal. People will say all kinds of things. They'll be like, you don't belong in office because you're blah, 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 blah. And they are threatening and everything else. They don't do anything, but they brutally assault people. And then there's also those that spend their day defending people. They're defending their good works. They're defending these things. That is our condition. confusion. That's how we participate in the confusion. And I like to listen to both because I think there's always both sides to a story. Hey, good morning, Mary Jo. Nice to see you on. Absolutely. We don't discern choices when in fear or distraction. That's true. I want to say that again. We don't make discerning choices when in fear or distraction. That needs to be our coffee break mug, please. We don't make discerning choices when in fear or distraction. And so a lot of times people can't admit that they want to look smart to the world. And when you pontificate or opinionate, that's you and your ego hoping to be looking smart in the world. You know, if we can't add to the conversation in a discerning way, when we're just giving an opinion or pontificating on what things are happening, we hope that we look smart. And that would be happy. We'd be happy to look smart. Thanks, Vickie. Happy to be here. I'm not sure who that was, but I'm so glad. Oh, it must be Marie Jo or somebody that I just said hello to. Check your mind with your heart. Ooh. That looks like a Catherine Glass thing to say. Check your mind with your heart. Could be Ryan, though, because that's Ryan's kind of thing, too. I love that. Check your mind with your heart. They got to go together. Barb says changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes. If we weren't all crazy, we would go insane. Jimmy Buffett. I needed that. That's so great. Changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes. If we weren't all crazy, we would go insane. Jimmy Buffett. Thank you for that, Barb. I needed that. Two wings of the same bird, said Scott Stevens. That's correct. Important to check the mind. We assume it's always right. Yes, important to check your mind. We always think what we think is correct, what we think is right, what we think is important. You know what? I know that a long time ago, when I let go of that thought, I became a lot happier. I became so much freer the second I stopped and thought, you know what? Maybe all the things that I think aren't that important. And it's okay because I'm still important. It's just my thought that's not important. And a lot of times we tie those two things together and we say, what I think is important and what other people think of my thinking is important. That's not really true. Thank you for that. That was really a beautiful thing. Important to check the mind. We assume it's always right. It's not always right. Classic. Hey, Sean, nice to see you, my friend. I'm so excited. Branding creates division between supporters or opposers, while value rises above sides. Focus more on the value provided when choosing. Oh, that is a stop my heart, Sean. You get the gold star today. That's beautifully said. Oh my God, my heart is just pounding. Branding creates division between supporters or opposers, while value rises above sides. Focus more not on the value provided when choosing. Focus more on the value when provided when choosing. Yes, thank you. Focus only. Great distinction, Sean. Yes, I love it. Hi, Christopher Kraft. Dude, I have not seen Chris in a long time. Nice to see you on board. Welcome to the Coffee Break Show, dude. I'm so glad you're here. What a nice surprise today. The truth is always what the two, oh my goodness, everybody is just talking so fast. You know, when you talk so fast, it rises faster than I can keep up with you. Let's see, truth. Okay. The truth is always what the two sides have in common. Yes, the truth is always what the two sides have in common. I like that. That's so true. As one repeatedly delusioned by authority figures, question everything. Yes. As one repeatedly delusioned by authority figures, question everything. I got to tell you something with that. One of the things that hurt me so badly, I got to tell you, it hurt me to the core, was when Bill Cosby was found and tried and found guilty of being a rapist. And the way he did it was disillusioned because he was America's dad. He was one of the greatest figures in Hollywood. He did so much good in the world, so much good. And at the same time, that one thing he did was so painful to know that he did that, because on his show, he raised the value of women. He made his wife a smart, sassy, politically, wonderful attorney at law. She was a great mom. She was everything. He really raised the cause of women up and how women are treated. And then to find that out was so disillusioning for me, so disillusioned. And as one repeatedly disillusioned by authority figures, question everything. That one hurt. Thank you for that, whoever did that. That was a really important thing to have. We don't want to continue losing our discernment. Truth, it is our patriotic duty to question everything, said Robin. Facebook user, ironic, some leaders operate from intimidation and fear and expect performance. Yes, isn't that weird? It's ironic, some leaders operate from intimidation and fear and expect performance. So, yep, here's the thing. I want to talk about that for a second because it's so important today. Remember back in the day before 9/11 when you could go up to the airport door and meet your loved one with some flowers and a hugs and, oh my God, I'm so excited you're here. Then everybody had walked together out and everybody was so happy and uplifted. We have our loved one with us. We have our family member with us. We have our wonderful person. Now we have to wait somewhere till they go cross the airport and out. We forget what we lost in that back thing. And somehow we lost it forever. And I wonder what freedoms or what rights we are about to lose based on this virus, based on, what freedoms, what patriot acts are going to happen based on this thing coming. Is that going to happen? I'm wondering if it is. And if it is I've seen things like, well, if you're not vaccinated, you can't get on an airplane and fly. Well, that's an interesting thing because now they've taken that right from your body. If that happens, I don't know. But after 9/11, we had the Patriot Act, the NDAA, and a few other things come into place because of that. And we're still, even though bin Laden's been dead a long time, we're still not able to go to the gate to greet our loved one in that good old-fashioned way where we hug them and we're so excited to see them. Sometimes picking up that long-lost friend that came over from, across the pond over to here. All of that was so exciting back then, and I kind of miss it. And right now, it's kind of just hanging on because TSA has become a job. And imagine if all the TSA workers were laid off because we didn't need them anymore. What if that happened and we went back to that? And we've lost every single time we go through an airport, we're frisked every single time. We haven't done anything wrong. We're not moving anywhere. We're having everything frisked for the possibility of somebody who could do something wrong again. And we don't know that. We've become kind of jaded in that way. But we're losing rights slowly but carefully because of that same thing. It's like ironic. Some leaders operate from intimidation and fear and expect performance. It's so interesting that we're living at this time. Yes, the style never, wow, you guys, wow. The style never works and develops no loyalty or productivity. That's great. Don says, my family always had canned goods in the root cellar. I used to love the beauty of the sun glowing gently in the root cellar, and it sure made the peaches and other fruit glow. I did not understand the real truth. I'm a descendant of pioneers who came here and covered wagons, independent people who are mindful on a daily basis just to live and survive. What they understood was independence of thought and counting on themselves. Ooh, what they understood was independence of thought and counting on themselves. The real truth was and is those pioneers created this country. Yes, sir. That was beautifully said, Donnie. That was just gorgeous. Whoa, that's a slice of profound, my friend. It is a good reminder of our roots, as valuable today as ever. Thank you. The pain calls us to act, I believe. Yes, it does. Pain always calls us to act. Absolutely. That was just the tip of the iceberg of things we lost after 9/11. Yes, I'm just using one. One thing is for sure, more children will finally be washing their hands regularly. That's from Barb. Barb said, one thing is for sure, more children will finally be washing their hands regularly. Thank you for that smile. I needed that giggle. They did reverse the things they put in place after 911. They did reverse the things they put in place after 911. Hugging will be forbidden. Who knows? Ooh, Marie Jo, that is an interesting thing. Hugging will be forbidden. Who knows? Facebook user is probably Ryan or Catherine, whoever you are. Thank you for these. Make them so afraid they beg us to take away their rights. Yes, they will do that. Make them so afraid they beg us to take away their rights. That's where you have to remember your roots. You descended from pioneers and your independence depends on you. Thank you. Barb says, amazing how many folks don't realize how important cleanliness is to stomping out the viruses of all type. Yes. Yes. And because I live with a medical professional, we have that hand wash in every corner of our house. But you're right. Until I met Robin, I was like I didn't realize how much cleanliness was, to stomping out a virus or not getting sick. And what's interesting, I learned about the virus. They're like, don't touch your face. So I've been practicing not touching my face as much. You'd be surprised at how many times you touch your face in a day. It's amazing. Let's see. That would make me so sad. That's so true. A simple act like washing your hands can eliminate so much, but it doesn't always have to be antibacterial. Thank you. Check out the book, Rules for Radicals. It's a perspective text on globalism. I will, because I love to read and I love that title, Rules for Radicals. Somebody, if you find a copy of that, would you put it in the link? Just throw it over there in that link, the perspective text for globalism, Rules for Radicals. Thank you. Ryan, you are the Facebook user. She can't see your name and face. Please allow StreamYard access. Ryan, I've been digging your posts and your additions to the conversation. And thank you for sharing the video out to your, doing a watch out to your Facebook page. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Will do. Thanks for recommendation. I'm in the middle. I'm on my mobile, not sure how. Oh, okay. Stay on your mobile, Ryan. If you're on your mobile, and thank you for watching me on your mobile. That is the staying on your mobile. StreamYard's hard to get to. Sean, my beard is most of the protection. Sean, that's so funny because it's true. My beard is most of the protection I have that allows me to touch my face. Because, it's like if your beard is really big, it's like having a rubber glove, I guess. It gets caught in your beard. And thank you for that. I see there. Hey, there it is. There's the Rules for Radicals. I'm like, this is really great. I'm going to read that as well. So what I want to say is, my whole point of this is, people are trying to steal your mind. They're trying to steal it, operate it, control it, let it tell you where to point your attention and your focus. The most powerful you that you can be is to own your mind. I mean, really own it. It's darkness and it's light. It's genius and it's stupidity. It's fear and it's stories. Know that it's your mind. And know that when you operate it and you're observing your mind, when you are observing your mind and its antics, the more you understand that it's just this pencil. Your mind is a pen. And when you write down on that piece of paper, you get to choose what it writes. I'm having a good day. I'm having a not so great day. Things aren't going my way. You get to choose. Your mind is simply a pen. And when your soul, which is you are the soul, and your heart, you get to choose what the pen writes. You get to choose what the brain thinks. You get to choose how your brain operates. Don't let them take your attention and wander off with your reason. Don't let them take your attention and wander off with your reason. Stay here with you and your discernment, because I believe the only way through what's coming is by allowing your soul to tell you what to do next. Allowing you to listen into you and say, what's good for my family? What should I do next? Is it time to prepare? If it is, then you have pulled your energy from that big machine out there, all that big machine that wants your attention constantly, and said, you know what? I'm here with me, and I'm going to be here with me. And nobody's taking me from me. And my mind is under my control, not anyone else's control, because they are trying to control what you focus on, what you think, and who you are. And you are whatever you say you are. You have in your life whatever you believe you can have. Any possibility that you think, don't let them take that from you. Remember that the game of politics is simply politics. We are humanity, and that's the truth. We are the human race. Wherever we land on the planet, it doesn't change. It's like when you say you're an American, all that affords you is a quality of life. It doesn't change the fact that you're a human. You just have a quality of life. And I'm not going to say a better or less quality of life. I'm just going to say it's your quality of life. And today, tomorrow, the next day, on the weekend, you're going to begin to read stuff. Just remember that it's your discernment. Listen to the narrative, but don't listen and make it your story. Let your soul tell you what your story is. That's all I have to share with you today. Thank you, Chris Kraft, for being here. Thank you, Jonathan and Catherine Glass. I can't wait to catch up with you one time. I missed you last time I was in Boston. I'm going to catch up with you next time we go out there. And everybody else who was on the show today. And thank you for sharing your amazing, amazing insights today. I mean, I feel so much better with some of the insights you've shared and some of the giggles you shared. I will see you on Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. Mwah! Peace out. Talk to you later.